Hey, how's it going? I am here with SlyFox and we're going to talk about some gaming stuff. Talk to me about your PS4 Pro, because I find this quite interesting. So you got a PS4 Pro and you decided to rip its heart out and put an SSD hard drive in. Yeah?
Yeah, so I put solid state in there.
So why did you do that?
Because, I mean, obviously coming from a PC background, we sort of identify, okay, you can throw as much grunt as you want CPU, GPU wise into a machine, but at the end of the day, you've still got to read the hard drive and pull those textures off into the other components of the PC so they can actually make use of it. So normally this comes ahead in loading. You know, you hit a load point, it's a different level or what have you. How quickly, largely, obviously there's, you know, RAM to consider, what's your access time, cache timings on RAM and what have you, but it's how quickly can you interrogate your hard drive and get data off it so you can get the game into a playable state again. And so the speed of your hard drive is that's what's going to create a bottleneck. So most PCs now have got solid state. For some reason, Sony in the infinite fucking wisdom, as in none, decided to put no solid state in the PS4 Pro. I presume it's to keep the price down, but when you see Microsoft throwing solid states in the One X's, and when you actually experience that from a console perspective, I mean, most people will identify with this. You're in the middle of a game, you know, you're in a Crucible in Destiny, you're playing COD, you're in R6, and somebody messages you, and you either want to see if that's like somebody crying on the other team because you've just wrecked them, or it might be a genuine something that you need to attend to. You press the PS button and it sits there, and now you can't see the game or your dashboard, and then eventually the dashboard will come up, and then you'll try and navigate to the message, and it'll sit there and it'll hang, and go, oh, we've got to have lunch first, oh, now I need the fucking bathroom. And then eventually you get, by which time the round's already started again in whatever you're playing, because you're probably going to check this in between rounds or what have you, and you're just thinking, really? Is this the fucking, is this, oh, fuck off, I've had enough of this. So
That's hard drive.
Yeah.
That's hard drive.
Yeah, so
what's it actually doing? Do you know what it's actually doing when it's doing that?
Well, it's reading the hard drive. So the original drives that are in the PS4, the old spindle drive technology. So you've got two heads and they're moving disks. So it's all mechanical, right? So solid state, we've binned all of that out the window. It's effectively pure RAM. Instead of like two heads reading, you are triangulating where your data is. So you've got 3 points of access, which obviously speeds your seek timer. You're actually addressing the data. But you haven't got spinning. You haven't got anything to spin up and then the heads to move and then, oh, it's over there. It's like you're there. And aside from games, loading in games is a lot faster. But it's really just interfacing with the dashboard. Like a message comes up, PSN button, bang, dashboard, bang, into messages, bang, there it is. It's just a lot faster. Obviously, it's dependent on what type of SSD, because you know they're not all made equally. So I put a SanDisk in mine, picked up from PC World. I think it's 114 quid for 500 gig. I can't remember exactly what the read-write times are, but they were faster than its 40 quid Samsung brethren.
Okay. So just quick, so the hard drive you took out was what size?
It was a terabyte spindle drive.
Okay, and you put in a 500 gig
solid
SSD.
State. Yeah.
Okay, and you said the SanDisk was a better one than the Samsung one.
Of the available options to purchase.
Okay.
As in,
did you have to have a certain requirement?
No, there is a size requirement.
Physical size in the box.
Yeah, so the actual disc itself, you know, it's like yay.
Yeah.
By about yay thickness. I think I can't remember, it's 2.5 something or other. But my usual fashion, I like looked at it, eyeballed it, and went, yes, that will fit, and it does. And I'm not the most patient of people. I'm like, if I buy something, I would like to have it in hand. I don't like It pisses me off. It fucks me off that in the UK I can't walk into like an electronic retailer of whoever, like a game, for example. We use them because they're the only people we got. And you mention like a third party Pro controller peripheral for a PS4, and everybody stares at me like their IQ's dropped to about fucking 5, and I'm like speaking Martian. These aren't alien things. They're not some rare artifact from the fucking stars. They're available. It's just like the only way you can get them is if you fucking buy them online. Fortunately, PC World actually carry a couple, which is where I've got my current one from. But I like to be able to spend my money, get the product, take it home and do something with it. So I get quite, I just don't like the, fuck, I've got to wait, how many? 2 days, and then you're not in because you're at work, and then the post, you won't deliver it because it needs a signature, so now I've got to fuck off down the post office. Oh, I've got to prove my identification, you don't look like that anymore. No, fuck, just give me the fucking
parcel.
Yeah, so I was like, I could have probably saved some money if I'd gone online, but certainly in the store where I bought it from, SanDisk had the quicker read-write times. The Samsung was cheaper but was slower. So I know Samsung do faster drives, they just weren't available.
Yeah.
I was being impatient. I want to do this now, but I'm going to go and get it. So I did.
So SanDisk 500 gig. And how easy was that to fit?
A piece of piss. I mean, there's people on YouTube of
Just tell you how to...
yeah, that's where I went.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm sure it's around the back somewhere. Before, because all my stuff's in like a rack and all plumbed in, I thought, like, I better know where I'm going before I start pulling stuff out. And so yeah, and it's just literally, it's the, as you're looking at your PS4 head on, it's the back right hand side, so where your power supply side is, and there's just you can actually see it as a bit sellotape, blue sellotape, official Sony sellotape, that comes away, and then there's you can see it's a screw. You just unscrew that, it's just Phillips screw, unscrew that, and then it slides out.
So you actually got to this without taking the machine apart, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh right, I didn't realise.
Yeah, I mean it's been, you can tell that it was, and it's the same with the Xbox as well.
So are they actually designed for you to change the hard drive? Because it sounds like...
I can't see how they're not. I mean, I suppose the Sony, the official word, I would imagine, is don't tamper with it, warranty. Yeah. But it's like, it's a fucking screw hidden underneath a bit of sellotape that you can unscrew, and you slide the caddy out. The caddy comes out, you've got your piece of shit cheapo hard drive in there. There's 4 little retaining screws. Unscrew those, whoop, slide that out, put the solid state in. It sort of will float in there, so you basically tip it on its side, loosely hold it in place with 2 screws, flip it over the other side, loosely put those 2 screws in, make sure it's now centered, level to the, tighten, and then it just slides in, clip, retaining screw back on, winning. Yeah.
And I'm guessing there's something in there to make sure that the connectors line up with whatever it meets when it goes in.
Yeah, I mean the caddy is like, it goes in
make sure that,
onto like tray onto runners. So yeah, you can't put it in like
oh wrong, yeah. So then you turn on your PS4 and what does it do? Does it kind of go reformatting drive or
no? So you have to put the PS4 into like safe mode. I think it's safe mode. Yeah.
Was it before you take the drive out?
No, fuck that. You just turn it off. Obviously, unplug it from the mains.
Yeah.
But when you put the new drive in, hook the power back up. You hold the power button in.
Right.
It beeps a couple of times, and then it will come up into
Right.
Again, if you want to do this properly, watch a YouTube guide because I'm gonna leave something out. But you need on an external USB device, you need the latest update file from Sony, and basically you tell it to read your external USB. It reads the update file, sees the solid state, goes, oh, I meant to use that as internal storage, bosh, and it formats it. Obviously, it goes without saying, any games you downloaded will not be present on your new hard drive because it's not the same fucking one. So obviously you backup saves to the cloud and what have you, and if there's anything you want to keep. But
so that's a pretty straightforward experience, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's kids doing it online. I mean,
yeah. And what did you notice difference-wise? I mean, was it kind of like groundbreakingly different?
Yeah, I mean, like boot time from like, as I have my PS4 in standby.
Yeah.
But just going out of standby to actually operational, so you'll know that the normal drive that's in there, like you'll boot the PS4 up and your desktop will arrive, but it's not necessarily immediately. You can start to try, man, but it sort of hangs and creaks and fucking dust comes from the fucking ceiling. It's like, but this, it's like bang, bang, it's in. I'm navigating, I'm launching applications straight off the bat. It's but yeah, the real notice is when you load something. So if you've got something that, I'm trying to think of something.
What was that game you told us before? What was the game you used it for? You said about the loading speed.
Black Desert.
Black Desert.
Black Desert. So it's just called Black Desert on the PS4, but on the Xbox, but on the PC it was Black Desert Online. So the Black Desert as one of the, again, if anybody out there playing on console will probably go, what the fuck are you talking about? But on PC, the big thing with Black Desert's engine, I can't remember the guys that develop it, but it's their proprietary engine. Now, one of the big things about this engine is its ability to stream assets in on the fly without it hitching and janky. So if anybody out there's played like any of Bethesda's games, like Oblivion or any other janky pieces of shit, on a console, it's like Hitch City. As you're going through the environment, you'll feel it load stuff in. Like Black Desert's online world, which is fucking huge, doesn't have a load screen inside. And it's largely because of the engine. So playing that on a stock, unmolested PS4 Pro, even not running it in its 4K mode, you would notice as you're coming up to load points, you'd feel them. If you discovered a new location, there'd be this massive hitch, and then your area that you've discovered would come up. NPCs at a distance, player characters, they'd all be black silhouettes, and then it'd load the assets in. You know.
And did you play the game like that on the original drive?
Yeah.
That made you?
Yeah, that was the thing. That was the driving thing. I'm like, man, this is
bad.
This is pretty gash. And I had a look on the Reddit, and people were going, solid state sorts like that out, and yeah, it does. So it makes it a lot more enjoyable experience because you're not having and you go into a town and there's like 30, 40 NPCs and player characters there, and they're already dressed suitably before you arrive. They're not like these black mannequins, like, and then all the assets pop on. Like, I mean, they're animated still. You can see, but it's just black silhouettes moving, walking, and what have you. So that was the real sort of point of that, was to sort of try and get some additional performance gain out of something that you can't really modify. So yeah, and it works a treat. So anybody that's thinking about, do I want a solid state for Black Desert? Yes, you do, because it does make a big fucking difference. So, but obviously it reaps benefits in just in other stuff, like everything is quicker. Just your load times.
Yeah.